What's going on, Gifted Hands family? It is Elijah here, and today we're going to be breaking down Dominique Brices' approach to total praise. All right, so this is real crazy, real funky, real out there, and we're going to be in the key of D flat, the original key of the song. So this is going to be a two-part lesson. The first part of this lesson is just going to be the note for note breakdown. I'm going to give you exactly what he plays, talk a little bit about the theory behind it, and then part two is going to be concepts. After you learn the breakdown, then concepts that we can pull from this song and apply it to any song, any situation, and kind of just use in general for our playing. All right, so right now, let's get into just this note for note breakdown, okay? So if you don't know the original version of Total Praise, I am going to give this disclaimer. If you don't know the original version of Total Praise, go ahead and jump into the original lesson. We have a breakdown in the Academy of Total Praise, the original way Richard Smallwood wrote it, before you learn this. It's always good if you're going to start reharmonizing, if you're going to start adding passing chords and doing a bunch of crazy embellishments and stuff, to learn the original way that the song was written first. And then after you learn the original way, it's actually much easier to learn stuff like reharms because we understand like what they're doing. And most reharms are just like transitions from chord to chord that was written in the original song, right? So all that to say, go learn the original version first, okay? So we got this. We're starting the song off with a diminished walk-up. Okay, so all of this. All of that until you get to this, oops, until you get to that, right, is diminished chord. So we're starting off with just a C diminished, okay? And actually, before I give you the chords, I'm just, oh yeah, I'll give you the chords. We're gonna play C diminished, and we're really just gonna go up in half steps. C diminished, C sharp, D, E flat, E, F, G flat, G, A flat, okay? Oops. And then after we hit the A flat diminished chord, I'm looking at it as like a E flat dominant chord. We're hitting like a rootless kind of E flat dominant chord. Then we're going to like a suspended E flat. So this is dominant to suspended. All right, and then back into like a resolved dominant. So essentially all we're doing is E flat dominant, E flat sus, back to resolved E flat dominant, okay? And that's that intro. So we got a long walk up, okay? Super long. And you could technically, like if you wanted to play diminished seventh chords, because these are more so like triads or drop two voicings, however you want to look at them, you could definitely make them sevenths to where it could be like, it could be, first chord could be half diminished. Yep. To fully diminished, half diminished, half diminished, fully diminished, half diminished, fully diminished, half diminished, fully diminished, and then to our E flat dominant, sus, dominant. Okay, remember those are rootless. All right, so those are that's the first progression, just that dominant walk up. I don't necessarily like to play, I'll just give this disclaimer too. I just gave you the diminished seventh, half diminished chord voicings. I'm not playing it like that just because as quick as those chords are going, it's easier to just play these kind of open voicings. It's much easier to move fast with the speed that he's playing. Okay, but that's it. I'm playing like a drop 2 voicing for all of these. Dominant, suspended, dominant. And then the next part is, and then remember, this is all over E flat, right? That we're doing up here. We're gonna do the same thing, still over an E flat. This movement right here. Hit this. Chromatic walk down from E flat to D flat. Ba-da-da-da. Then we're hitting this. So all of that is still an E flat dominant chord. E flat dominant, 6-9. E flat dominant, 13, right? So we got that. Hit the E flat by itself. And then we're gonna have a bunch of drop 2 voicings. Okay, so that's the 4 over 6. This is just a G flat major. 4 over 6. This is our 6th chord, like a B flat minor 7 and drop 2. So look at this is B flat minor, but we're just putting it in drop 2. And all these chords are drop 2. It's like the 4 chord in drop 2, the 6 chord in drop 2, the 5 chord in drop 2, and then we're going to invert the 5. Okay. So 4 6 5 5. Okay. And then we resolve all that to the 1. What's going on, Gifted Hands family? We are continuing on with our breakdown of total praise. We've already broken down the note for note version of how to play this. And so now that you know how to play this whole video, right, Dom's approach to total praise, what I want to do is now talk about some concepts that we can pull from this this total praise approach, right? So it's not only good to just learn the song, but it's also good to, like, I feel like, understand a song and figure out how can I use these chords, these movements, these progressions, this approach overall in my playing in different songs, for talk music, for whatever the situation may be, right? So I got 4 concepts kind of that I pulled from this that I think can be really helpful, all right? So first concept is just going to be like chord voicings. I think there's some amazing chord voicings in this video, right? So we had a bunch of, first off, drop 2 chord voicings, which I think stood out the most to me. So let's even just take it from the top. All right, so we got this long diminished walk-up, right? All that. So the reason why this diminished walk-up works, first off, is because we have like a melody line that kind of just takes us to get us to this 2 chord, right? Because this is a 2 chord. So the fact that we didn't just take a diminished walk and like have the same bass note as what our right hand is doing. We'd use this drop 2 chord voicing, makes it feel real open and real interesting and not too cluttered, because like a diminished chord can sound really strong, right? But when we take a diminished chord and add a drop 2 voicing to it, it makes it just sound like we're moving, like we're traveling somewhere and you don't know what to expect. It doesn't sound too like aggressive and in your face. All right, so that's one way that they use drop 2s, is on these diminished chords, which I think is really dope. And then let's see where else we use some drop 2 chord voicings. Oh, so right here, still in the intro. This is something I do all the time when I'm playing like talk music. But this is like our 4 chord in drop 2, 6 chord in drop 2, 5 chord in drop 2, and once again 5 inverted. So what we can do is, like I said, we have a 4 chord with the 2 in there. Putting that in drop 2. Jump to the 6, which is like a B flat minor 7, right? It's inverted, and then it's in drop 2. So we can take either chords in root position, or we can take inversions of chords and make them drop 2. And then there's our 5 chord with the 9 in there, or the 2, drop 2, and then they invert it, still in drop 2. So that's a good way, like if you wanted to just travel using some simple chords, nothing super busy or full altered, and none of those types of chords. You can literally use like triads or just major and minor chords. Here's 4, 6, 4, 4, 6, 6, 4, 4. That's just 2 chords, the 4 and the 6 chord, right? So drop 2 allow us to move around. But it allows us to move around kind of freely. So we got that. Let's see if they use these drop 2 chord voicings anywhere else. Oh yeah, all over the place, really, because we're in the intro. Or we're kind of in the verse now. I, 5, or this is 4 technically, 4 over 6, drop 2, 5 over 7, aka it's drop 2 chord voicing. This is really a drop 2 chord voicing too.